Battlefield 6's reveal trailer came out recently, and some room temp IQ toilet bowl sniffer went viral on Twitter because he was complaining about the game's graphics. The trailer had in-game cinematic graphics, so it's not purely CGI, it's actually using the game engine. And this dude was complaining that they didn't look realistic enough and talked about how Battlefield used to be the main game when it came to graphics a decade ago, and now it doesn't look any better than Call of Duty or whatever. He was complaining about some dumb shit, and obviously it went viral, and a lot of people disagree with him, and a lot of people are roasting him, rightfully so. And I'm not going to claim that what I'm about to say about graphics is somehow going against the grain. I feel like most people who play video games or who even admire them from afar would agree with me that graphics really are not that important nowadays. But it's just the fact that these people who still think like this are alive and well. You know, they're walking around on God's good green earth. We haven't put them down yet, you know, like they're still out there roaming. And it's just stupid because people do actually think like this. Now, not a lot of people, but people do. You know, people have these opinions that video games, the most important thing for them are graphics. You see it every time when somebody posts a video talking about PS5 Pro graphics comparison, or a comparison of, you know, The Last of Us Remastered Part 2 versus The Last of Us Remastered Part 2 upgrade, when it's like a 2-frame difference and they're just shitting themselves talking about how the lighting looks better. And I'll be the first to admit it. I'll go ahead, I'll come out and I'll say it. I used to be one of those types of people, man, where I thought video game graphics were the most important part. A decade ago. Yeah, not even a decade ago, longer than that. I remember that was the thing, dude. When Battlefield 3 was coming out, people were, you know, a lot of people were coming out saying, oh, the graphics look realistic compared to Call of Duty. The gameplay is real and gritty compared to Call of Duty. Look at the graphics. And I was one of those people, man. I was a kid. I saw that. Bro, my little dick was getting hard. Bro, I was excited because the graphics looked awesome. But graphics have not been important since like 2017. Back in the PS3 era or the PS4 era, or especially the PS2, you know, those consoles, those generations, games having better graphics actually meant something. It was actually something to be proud of, something to be excited over. It's like, yes, we're finally closer to looking like real life, you know, that's always been the thing. And then after, like I said, 2016, 2017, it kind of just plateaued. And now every single time somebody's bragging about graphics or something with whatever game they're making, it's usually just RTX this, or illuminative lighting, or it's the AI processing. You know, you have more pubes on a ball sack that you can look at. There's better lighting reflections off of this puddle. It's like, who cares, dude? Who fucking gives a shit? But people do. There are people who play games and they do give a shit. And unfortunately, there are people who make games who give a shit about graphics to the point to where they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars and going on towards a decade of development for just one single game. And that's why I, like many of you probably who are watching this video, have the opinion that I just don't give a shit about graphics. I just don't care, dude. You know, the indie boom with pixel art, I'm not going to sit here and say that I really enjoy pixel art as much as I used to. I'm kind of tired of it. I'm kind of more into like the retro 3D look. If somebody has graphics that looks like it came out on the fucking Nintendo 64 or the PS1, I'm all for it. I like the retro style. I like the graphics. One of my most anticipated games that I hope releases this year is Beta Decay. You know, look at the graphics on Beta Decay. Dude, look at the gameplay. The gameplay looks amazing, and I'm so hyped for this, but I just don't care, dude. I don't need games to have realistic graphics. And as far as Battlefield 6 goes, it looks good. You know, even the leaked footage of people playing the multiplayer, which is kind of broken because it was an alpha, right, from like May. There's leaked footage from months ago. Even that footage, like, the game looks good. It doesn't have to have the most amazing things ever for it to like matter to me. Now, obviously, if a game does have good graphics, it is nice. Clair Obscur is probably one of the best games I've ever played. It was a masterpiece. I loved every second of that game, especially the ending. The ending was amazing. And the graphics really do add to it. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you, is Clair Obscur a masterpiece because of the amazing graphics? No. It could have PS3 style graphics and it would still be a masterpiece, because the reason why Clair Obscur is good is because of the characters, is because of the writing, is because of the music, you know? And those are things that have not plateaued. Good writing, we don't get enough of it, dude. We don't even get the bare minimum for writing when it comes to video games or movies nowadays. Like, stuff that would have been just expected 20 years ago, we don't even get that anymore. So, like, writing is obviously not plateaued. You can be creative enough and you can come up with new ideas. People usually don't, but you can. Music is a big part of games. Clair Obscur is a good example. The music is experimental. It doesn't just do classic stuff. It has effects and all these different things. It's a really beautiful soundtrack and a really amazing game. And then you have symphonies and orchestras and all these different things. Like, you can get creative with music. Like, it hasn't plateaued yet, dude. People have been coming up with new genres of music for hundreds of years. It's like, it's not done evolving. Graphics, on the other hand, have kind of reached a point to where we're not really getting a good return on investment. There's a lot of money and effort and time that's being poured into all these games so it can have amazing graphics and so you can see pores and all this shit. And it really just doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's like, yeah, it's pretty, yeah, it's cool, but if the gameplay sucks and if the characters are retarded, I don't fucking give a shit. I just don't. Now, if it has amazing characters, amazing everything, and good graphics, it is a bonus, yes, but it's not necessary. And if you know anything about me, I love playing older games. My last video I put on the channel was a should you play Neverwinter Nights 2 Enhanced Edition, which, even though it's an Enhanced Edition, the graphics still look 20 years old. And you know what? I like it. I like the fact I can play older games and they have those old style graphics. I like playing stuff like Morrowind. I like Oblivion. I do. I like the way those games look. I like the feeling I get from playing older games that have those styles of graphics. And I like it when newer games have more retro style graphics because it can hit that nostalgic feel. So I don't need every single RPG or first person shooter or whatever to have amazing visuals, because visuals don't really do anything. They just don't. Stylization is a little bit more important. You could argue that, you know, good style and good lighting and good art direction is more important than realism. And I would agree. I would say, yeah, you're right. So this dude coming out and complaining about how Battlefield 6 doesn't look any better than any other games that are out in the market. If not, it probably looks worse because other games have better graphics. Well, first of all, who fucking cares, dude? Like, who cares? Apparently, there are some people, I don't think most people do, maybe the average gamer, maybe the average consumer. You know, there are people that play games, bro, that all they do is play the big release. They play the one big release that comes out each year on their PS5, and that's it. And that's good enough for them. I have a friend, a coworker, and he told me, he was like, I like playing games when I can play with other people. And he really only plays Call of Duty or Fortnite. That's the shit he plays. And there are a lot of people that play games that are kind of in that ballpark. So to them, maybe amazing graphics and the best graphics of all time kind of matter, but even then, I don't ever see them talk about it. I've never heard my coworker talk about once about the game having amazing graphics. They just talk about how it's fun. That's it. That's all that really matters to anybody, even the most average gamer. Now, maybe if you're talking about a mobile release game that's coming out in India, that's some battle royale or some shit, then they're going to care about graphics, but most people just don't give a shit, dude. And this is an ideology that, you know, the best quality of a game is from its graphics. It's an idea that just has to die. We just have to bury it already. We just have to put these people down. You know, we'll tuck them in. We'll give them a nice warm glass of milk. We'll tell them to turn around. It's like, hey, you know, look out the window, look at the beautiful ocean, and go to sleep. And they'll be all tucked in and feeling nice and feeling good. And they'll be like, can you tell us a bedtime story? And we'll start telling them a bedtime story. We'll start telling them about Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And then we'll just fucking shoot them, all right? We'll get rid of them. And then the world will be a better place. It will be a safer place for us all. We will live in harmony and peace to the end of time, all right? That's what we got to do. Okay, that's what we gotta do. We just gotta get rid of them, because the idea that graphics are the most important part of video games is obsolete, dude. It's just not a good ideology to be invested in. If that's your belief system, I highly recommend you reform from that, you renounce it, because you're just not gonna get anywhere in life if that's how you view things. You know, especially if it's a reveal trailer and your first reaction is, there's not enough fucking ass hairs on this model for me to fucking enjoy the game, instead of, oh, I hope it's fun. Oh, the graphics don't. Shut the fuck up, dude. That it doesn't matter. All right, it just doesn't matter, bro. It stopped mattering back in the PS4 days. Red Dead 2, when Red Dead 2 came out, it's like it didn't matter anymore. I will say the only game you can probably criticize for the graphics that is going to come out is GTA 6. I would say GTA 6 has to have the greatest graphics of all time because it has a budget of like $2 billion or some shit. So yeah, of course, if it doesn't have good graphics, we can, riot in the streets. But most games don't have budgets of $2 billion, all right? Even if a game has a budget of $100 million or $200 million, which why the fuck do games have budgets this big? That's actually a very big problem. There is a bubble in the gaming industry with how much these games cost, and it's the reason why all these people are getting laid off at all these companies is because it's too expensive, and one of the qualities of that is because it just costs so much to fucking do the graphics and have all these models and all these who cares? You can do it lower res. It's like, fuck it, put out a game with Nintendo 64 graphics. Do it. Nintendo actually figured it out. They did. I'm not even gonna lie. They're just saying, fuck you, you're gonna spend $80 for our game, and people are gonna do it anyways. But you know what? They figured it out. They were like, people don't really care about graphics. Because their games have graphics that look like it would have came out on the PS4. 2 years into the console's launch. It's like, but they don't care. They still make more money than Xbox and PlayStation. They sell more units. They do a lot more. And their games, I guarantee you, cost way less to produce than what Western developers are spending. So graphics don't matter. This is an idea that has just been debunked. It is just the wrong way to think. All right? You can be closed-minded when it comes to certain things. And this is one of them. Because we were all open-minded to it at once. And then now it's like, who cares? It's like, who cares? Performance is now like the best argument you can get when it comes to newer consoles. You're not going to get better graphics on the PS6 compared to the PS5. You can get better performance. You can get higher frame rates. You can get faster load times. You can even get better disk management to where games are more optimized so they're not 300 billion megabytes, gigabytes, whatever. It can be smaller. Like, that's the next step for where games are headed. It's not better graphics. It's just more optimization because a lot of games are optimized horribly. So I feel like any company that really kind of makes that their main goal, I think that's going to be like the leaders in the industry are the people who focus on good optimization with good graphics. Because, the bigger studios are the ones that are going to be doing these things. So let them do it. But you don't have to worry about the best graphics or the most realistic lighting. You really don't. It really is not important. Especially if the game is going to be multiplayer and it's just going to have bugs anyways. Like, who freaking cares? And that's just a theory. A game. I'm just kidding. But that's just my opinion. And I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys actually care about graphics anymore? Do you actually give a shit? Or would you rather just have a game that's fun to play and you can have a good time with your friends, with the boys, or maybe just a game that kind of hits that old nostalgic feeling? What do you think about Battlefield 6? What do you think about Clair Obscur? Let me know. And thank you all so much for the new subscribers on the channel. We have been getting a lot of views and a lot of attention and a lot of support recently. And when I say we, I mean me, but I like including all of us because we're one big happy family here, man. We're the boys. We're the dogs. And I love you guys so much. But yeah, that was pretty much my 2 cents on this. I just thought I'd make a video. I know I've been a little busy this week and I didn't do as much content. Unfortunately, I was kind of busy towards the beginning of the week, and then after I got done being busy, I kind of got a little sick, so it's a little weird right now. That's why I haven't done any Let's Plays, because I am actually coughing. I'm just editing the coughing out of the fucking audio. But thank you guys so much for the love and support. It means the world to me. You guys have no idea how much it matters that you guys are watching these videos and interacting with this content. I love it, man. I really love talking about this type of stuff with y'all. So thank you guys. I'm grateful for you. And if you did enjoy the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification for updates when I upload in the future. And like always, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your night, and I will see you all later.